Quite a while ago I said I was going to do a video about what to pack in your bag to go off to chemotherapy. So I have put together a few little things that I used to take. Obviously this doesn't apply to everyone because everyone's got different interests and things, so I'll just show you what I've got. So when I first started going, I had a rucksack about this size. It's very heavy, and I took all of my details, all of my letters, all my referrals, everything, just in case they wanted to see anything. So that was one thing I took. Laptop I took with me a memory stick or a hard drive, and I had episodes of Only Fools and Horses, Porridge, all those kinds of things. And if you can get onto the Wi-Fi, that means you can do like social media and all those kinds of things. Appointment card, quite an important one. So, you know, I don't know about different chemotherapy units around the country, but where I went over at Kingston, you present this at the desk, and then, you know, off you go, and if you leave it with them, they book you in for your next appointment. So, and it's also got the details, like how you can phone straight through to the desk rather than having to phone up the actual main reception of the hospital and go through all of that. Charger, phone charger. So I don't actually have an iPhone anymore, but I did at the time. So I think some of you that do have iPhones will know that the battery's rather rubbish, and if you're having 3 hours worth of chemo and you're constantly on your phone playing games or anything like that, then this is really handy. iPod. So my first chemotherapy, I know from the videos, didn't go brilliantly because I had a panic attack, so I kind of wasn't very prepared. This is all stuff that I kind of took with me after learning about what it was that I needed, and music played a big part of me, and had a lot of things like Beyonce and Katy Perry, which this was one of them. Quite like the chorus. There we go, bit of bad dancing for you there as well. So it had all like my motivational songs. I also had an app called Headspace, which allowed me to do mindfulness whilst having chemo, especially in those early days, because I was very, very anxious and having panic attacks and trying to control my breathing, and I think along with actually just having chemotherapy, I had a fear of needles as well, so it was quite a big thing. So yeah, iPod. Tissues, that was quite an important one for me. You know, yeah, bit emotional. Diary, just in case a doctor pops along and says, you know, I need to see you, and then they give you an appointment for something else. You've got your diary. It's really important to write all your dates down, because as soon as you get diagnosed, you've just got appointment after appointment after appointment, and it's really hard to keep track of what you're supposed to be doing. Lots of my lovely friends sent me colouring books, which were very, very popular last summer. So that was really, really good, and I actually ended up, me and another friend, we donated some of the books that we had that we hadn't used to the chemotherapy unit, and we bought pencils and left them there for people that, you know, because they're not cheap, depends where you get them from, but it's quite a nice distraction to just be colouring or drawing, whatever you prefer to do. So obviously along with that, like Mary Poppins with this bag, pens, lots of lovely pens, headphones, obviously really good if you don't want to annoy the person next to you, hall soothers. So I know I mentioned these before, so when having pre-meds, you can get the kind of metallic-y, salty, funny tastes. This just makes it a little bit easier, just a bit of a blackcurrant taste. In the front here, lip seal, obviously if your lips get dry. Hand cream, So it's quite nice, because I know for me, after a little while, I could really kind of, it smelled very odd to say I could smell the chemo, but I know probably most people will kind of get it if I say, you know, if you've had a really big night out drinking and then the next day you kind of feel really hot and you can basically smell the alcohol coming out of your pores. I kind of felt like that sometimes, so a little bit of hand cream made me feel good. That's all for this bag, and also just a notebook. So, I mean, I was jotting in this book from the word go, so really handy. So if you've got questions that you want to ask any of the doctors and nurses, then you can. So that's really good. All of these things, I will say, that I packed in this bag, I probably did that for a good 3 or 4 months, and then I got to a point where I thought, not actually using half this stuff, because I ended up getting so tired, and I was very lucky to have someone with me, so I didn't really feel like I wanted to watch stuff on my laptop when there's, you know, someone sitting opposite me who I can chat with and things like that. And playing cards is also a good one if you're going with someone. I know, I can't remember what game it was. It was me and my sister, we played some games. So this bag gradually got smaller and smaller and smaller as the time went on, and in the last probably month or so, because my treatment went weekly, I ended up with one of my mum's lovely tote bags with one thing in it, a blanket. Because as soon as I got into the chemotherapy unit and had my pre-meds, I was just out for the count. So I remember once I remember having the cannula put in, had the pre-meds, right, gonna go for a little sleep, and I woke up and I had about 5 minutes left before my chemo was done. So yes, so towards the end it was just a blanket and the usual like folders, diary, you know, you'll work out what it is that works best for you, but those are a few things that I had. And one thing that I also did, just in case of ever getting poorly, was I constantly kept a rucksack made up. So it had things like spare socks, underwear, a t-shirt, some joggers, some hand cream. Again, kept my forms in this bag, so if I needed to go off to A&E if I was poorly, I could just pick up that bag and go, and I didn't have to think about it. Not saying that this will happen, but I always found it, I would rather know it's there. And I know one occasion where they thought they'd found a blood clot, and I wasn't actually at home, I was with my friend Kate, so I went from her house straight to the hospital and I had nothing with me, but I'm able to say to someone, like, this is the bag, you know, and they can bring it over. So yes, I hope you found that helpful, if you're going through chemotherapy, or if you've got a friend that will be, you know, soon to be going through chemotherapy. Maybe that gives you some ideas of just little things maybe you could get them, or say, you know, oh, this would be a really good idea. But yeah, speak to you soon. Bye.